Welcome back to Canaries Walk. We're talking, of course, about the brilliance of Makama, the magic of Makama, and, of course, the magic of Christmas. Norwich are looking up, well, hopefully, but we also need to talk about goalkeepers this week as well. Hope you are well. We've got Killian, Tom, Matty, and James, and we are, of course, live again this week for the final record of 2025, and we'll be looking back on the year as well, the highs and the lows. I'm picking our player of 2025. Hope you are all doing well. This is our starting tweet to discuss this particular week. Ryan says, what a signing. It makes you wonder where we'd be if we bought more gems from the lower leagues rather than gambling on data-driven foreign signings that take time to adjust. Yes, we'll get the panel's view on that draw at Preston. Who was good, who was bad, and what did we learn about this new Norwich side? Also coming up this week, we're going to ask each of our panellists to gift one Christmas present to either a Norwich player or a fan base in the Championship. Who will it be, and what will they get? Who've been the best away fans that we've seen at Carrow Road so far in this season? Who's our player of 2025? And we're up to letter K in the Norwich City A to Z. Hope you're doing well. Merry Christmas to all of you. I see you're nearly all sporting in new festive jumpers. Killian, is that this year's you're wearing? It looks ghastly.
Last year's.
Okay.
I refuse to buy a new one. I bought one about 10 years ago, and it gets worn. Well, this is the second wear this year. I mean, it's going to go back in the wardrobe after this.
And me and Matt
as a Christmas gift to you all, after this record, we'll give you a couple of weeks off from talking about Norwich. How's that? Right then, let's talk about the Preston game to start off with, shall we? Let's talk about the main man, shall we, Tom? That tweet says, if only we'd have found more gems like him in the lower leagues. Yeah, do you agree?
Yeah, to a point. I think we've done it before, 10, 13 years ago under Lambert, we pulled players out of the lower leagues and we really did build a cohesive squad that, were all playing above their station, when we got back-to-back promotion. I think a balance is nice. I think, you go and sign players out of the lower leagues. I think, what's their sort of future potential and how much further can they go, or do they hit their ceiling when they play for us? And I think that's probably, the argument of the data-driven recruitment model, that someone's potentially got, a lot more to give if they click. Obviously, you only got to look at Christos Zolis, signed under a data model, flopped at Norwich, and he's now a Champions League goal scorer. So, there's obviously the potential there. But yeah, I mean, I think if we think back to Lambert days, the days of sort of Cody McDonald and Ollie Johnson, and maybe Makama is the second coming of Ollie Johnson, but he is he's been fantastic, stepping up in Sargent's absence. And yeah, I mean, he looks so comfortable. I saw a few sort of tweets about him when we signed him that it was, they were raving about him and should have apparently should have sold him for more. So it's really positive to see that, because I think again 6 weeks ago we'd go, where the hell's the goals coming from? But he's up to 7 now. He's level with Sarge, and yeah, he looks to have been an absolute bargain.
Yeah. James, what do you like best about his all-round play?
Well, it's interesting, the fact that I think personally I've been crying for him to play against Sarge all year. He looks like a striker, but we've been playing him outright, and that's where he was developing at Lincoln as well. I think what I like about him is probably his attitude more than anything. He's this young lad. He's got a point to prove. And Norwich fans, when Sarge went off after against Sheffield United, everyone was like, down in the dumps, we all were. It's like, crikey, we're in trouble now. And to be fair, he's had his best game since Sarge has been playing. So I think for me, his attitude, I thought his hold-up play on Saturday was brilliant. Sort of watched the game, and it was like he was just by himself up against 3 big centre-backs. He's like, you know what? I'll back myself here for sure. So yeah, attitude, ethic. Well, yeah, he's just a bit of an old-school striker, in my opinion, and that's what you need in the Championship. You look at our great strikers in the last 10 years, your Holtz, even you like Steve Morrison's, when we had Ashley Barnes for years ago.
You said great strikers, Steve Morrison.
You know what I mean? Championship strikers. You know what I mean? All 3 of those were proved in the Championship. And they're a bit dirtier. We didn't like. We never used to like playing against those sort of strikers. So, no, he's a good player. Just hope it kicks on. And so I would love to see him and Sarge play next to each other. One maybe slightly deep, whatever, but just get them both in the middle of the park, in my opinion.
Okay. Matty, it was 60 seconds away from being the perfect Christmas result, and I think this is the third time that you've conceded a 90th minute plus goal, which has robbed you of points. But would you have taken that before the game? In fairness, at the third place team away from home.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd have taken a boring 0-0. And it wasn't far off being that really until 84 minutes and 90 plus 6, was it? So yeah, I think it shows a sign of the kind of the character that I think we've, in this really short space of time, seem to have developed, this kind of resilience, because without wanting to hark back too much to weeks and months gone by, again, we would have lost that previously. So I'd have taken a point. It's a good point. It's just a real kick in the teeth that we lose the ball. We have, at one point, I think I paused it when I've watched it back, and they had more men in our half than we did. And you think, how the hell have we been caught out when we're 1-0 up away from home in the 95th minute or 96th minute against a team who's third in the league, and we've lost it in the corner, and somehow, for the only time really in the entire game, they've got an overload on us, and it's in the last seconds of the game. And you just think, how has that happened? So there's a little bit of naivety still. I think we've still got a fairly young squad who maybe could improve their game management. And I think that'll come on under Clement, because I think he's been around enough, Annie. So he's going to get that into them. But a good point. In the heat of the moment, 2 dropped, but realistically 1 gained in the grand scheme of things.
Okay. We'll look at the Preston goal in a bit more detail in a second. I want to just talk about Schwartau for a second, though, Killian. I'll just read you a couple of points made from this poster on the BBC website. It says, Schwartau is getting poorer as the season goes on. He's got no speed, no control, no footballing instinct. Can't understand why he's ever present. City were muscled for much of the match. But yeah, well taken goal, should have secured the three needed points. Do you agree about those comments about Schwartau?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I think he's come a long way this season. He's still a young lad, still a lot to learn. He obviously did tire a little bit, certainly in Preston. That was a tough pitch though to roll on. It was heavy. But he's got pace. I think he's got a great touch. I think he does lack a little bit of confidence in shooting, but that'll come. And I think he's done well for us. But he hasn't had much, in terms of maybe competition in recent times, and maybe that might help him up his game a little bit when the players come back.
Yeah.
I almost
think
think
he's more of a 10.
Yeah, or I think he probably just needs a bit of a break. He hasn't had a break this season. As you said there, Killian, there hasn't been any other options out there. It should have been Jurasic probably fine from Diallo. Obviously, he's been out injured for a while. I think he's back in training now. But we were all at Watford, and 3 of us, we were stood together. He had a good game at Watford, but he was knackered. I think maybe or not, a bit of a break, come off the bench potentially, or maybe a bit more than the 10. But then again, I think you look compared to England, everyone wants to be playing in that 10 role. Schwartau's probably better in that 10, but we'll see.
Also, to Killian's point, that pitch was ghastly on Saturday.
It was terrific, wasn't it? I've played on better pitches than that. Yeah.
It's part of their arsenal, though, isn't it? That's how they are.
Both Preston and Blackburn have got absolutely horrific pitches, and they're down the road from each other.
It's grim up north. You should show it sometime.
Tell me that's where I'm getting in from. Anyway,
right. Let's have a chat about that Preston equaliser then. I mean, the timing of it obviously poor, but so many Norwich fans have pointed out a couple of things in the goal here. I mean, we'll come on to Vlad in a second, Tom, but defensively, this was as poor as it's been, isn't it? I mean, you look solid all game, and then too many players, just basically folded.
Sport watching, I think, like to Matty's point, there's a bit of naivety still in there. I think they probably also had that kind of moment where they were sort of, we're 30 seconds away from winning this game, and I think they might have got a bit giddy, and switched off. It happened in slow motion. The goal happened in slow motion, and it was just, again, you've got everyone just sort of watching as it happens, and you say we'll move on to the goalkeeper. I mean, I put a tweet out about it, but I think for as excellent as he's been in some moments, I think he's also been very poor in basic moments. it goes down in installments for the ball to go past him. It doesn't go past them at any pace. It literally just trickles into the far corner. Cordoba, again, is he just waiting for it to go past the post, swing something at it? Even if he puts it in, if it's going there anyway, then you haven't lost anything. But yeah, for me, Vlad, as I as I mentioned a few weeks ago, he's playing goal. Move your feet, like as you can see from that still that you just had up there, Mark. As the ball is leaving that guy's head, he's already collapsing into a dive. He's got to stay up for long. If he moves his feet into that, he saves it.
Left.
It takes one step left, right? Even a step left and forward, like you're taught to do. He saves it. Yep. And again, it doesn't go past them at any particular great pace. And I'm not saying that he's horrific. And I've seen some horrific takes about George Long and all the rest of it, right? But he has cost us goals this season. Yes, obviously he saved the pen against Southampton and arguably won us that game last weekend. But it's just really poor when you just need your keeper to do something. And it wasn't the only moment of the game for me. It was, there was a few balls into the box. Preston had a goal disallowed, and all he did was run into the back of the Preston striker. He got really lucky. He got away with one there in the first half. So don't get me wrong. If he was consistent and excellent, he probably wouldn't be playing for Norwich, or we wouldn't have picked him up for a bargain price or whatever we did. But it is frustrating.
That's what I wanted to ask you about here. Sorry, just to jump in to get your discussing. So Noah says nearly got us something. It said Vlad is the most inconsistent keeper we've ever had. He looks way above our level 1 minute, and then he looks like a League One keeper the next. Yeah, just get all your other thoughts on that.
Yeah, I was just about to say he's erratic. 1 minute, yeah, he's got some brilliant shot stopping moments at times. But then he's also got moments, Watford away, and we discussed it again for 2-3 minutes. Like, just catch the ball. You see the freeze frame from the goal against Watford. You see the freeze frame there. It's like we shouldn't be conceding there. But then he has moments against Southampton and whatnot. What we need, I said end of last season, I'd have kept Angus Gunn. I know he had a slightly poorer season last year, but my opinion was you'll do well to get a better keeper than Angus Gunn for less than a certain amount of £1 million. And do I think Angus Gunn would have saved it? Yeah, 100% would have done. I know we can't always go back and whatnot, but we need a spine to this team. We need people that will step up in big moments. That's a big moment. Been other big moments, and he has let us down, in my opinion.
I think just to that point in that tweet as well, Mark, that person's mentioned a key word there, consistency. And I think we'd probably all, I don't know, I'm not wanting to speak for us, but I would rather a 6.5 or a 7 90% of the time than someone who's going to be a 9 and then a 4. Like, genuinely is that. He was brilliant against Southampton, as Tom mentioned. Penalty save there. He made a penalty save at Portsmouth. Must be something about the South Coast.
He made some big saves against Coventry as well, off the top of my head.
Yeah, yes. Massive.
Yeah. And then he's cost us, I don't want to say 9 points, but it's 4 or 5 that spring to mind. Like, and it's like, I don't know. Is he also? I mentioned the word naive earlier. Is he also just a bit naive? Does he lose his concentration? Does he? I don't know.
Mental.
I think Tom just said it. If you're a goalkeeper, you've got 30 seconds left from potentially 3 points. The ball is literally the furthest point from your goal. You probably have naturally switched off a little bit. And I'm not trying to find an excuse for him at all, because he should have saved it. He should have done better. But is that a bit of naivety? Were they maybe celebrating a little bit too early? Maybe. I didn't expect us. Well, I expected us to concede as soon as I saw the freeze frame when the ball went over the halfway line. I was like, how easy was? I kept just take him down. Just take a yellow somewhere. I was spring it went past. Like, just take him down. Take a yellow. Yeah. But again, game management now. But then a week before that against Southampton, how good was the game management the last 10 minutes?
Excellent. They just got nervous.
Yeah.
I think on the goalkeeper, just to jump back one more. Sorry, I think we do have to remember that Angus Gunn wasn't excellent before he left us. I think actually, he was quite poor last season, and I think he was obviously in a poor team. I think if you look at and we'll look at 2025, it's been horrific. But I think we have to look at Angus pushed Tim Krul when they were both there, and actually it brought the best out of both of them. Angus didn't have any meaningful competition last year in George Long. Maybe Vlad doesn't have any meaningful competition in Grimshaw if they don't rate him. But yeah, to your point, if we kept hold of Angus and brought in Vlad, would they have potentially pushed each other? I don't know. But I think people saying you should have kept hold of Angus Gunn. He wanted a lot of money. He was on Premier League Norwich wages and wanted too long of a contract, and he was bang average towards the end of last season.
I bet if you asked him now, he wished he'd stayed and been instead of sitting number 3 at Forest not playing.
Would he? I'm on 40 grand a week.
Well, he's openly come out and sort of moaned about it. I think he's still he's youngish. What's he wanting? He's not old, is he? He's what, 30?
He's not finished. He's 28. Anyway,
he's still young.
Sorry,
I'm 27. He's young.
These young'uns killing, disrespectful. Cheers, Nigel. Nigel said Vlad should have said it wasn't in the corner. But overall, Clement Killian has improved every player, and I'm more optimistic of getting clear of relegation. Cheers for that, Nigel. Great to have you along with us this evening. Do you agree, Killian, with what Nigel's saying there? Are you optimistic?
Yeah, I think it's we're going to turn a corner. I think if we looked at the last 3 games, and I think there's a fair bit of disappointment. Given how close we've come against Sheffield and against Preston. But I think, my big worry coming up to those 3 games is we'd lose the 3 of them and we'd lose our momentum again. So I think we've done well against them, and I think we've some hopefully easier games coming up. But I do agree on the Vlad situation. Dan is obviously going to get a chance, I would imagine, against Walsall, if not before then. And I know they're probably not a super team, but let's see how he does. Will he maybe show that he's got something? Because, yes, the penalty save was phenomenal against Southampton, and that probably turned the match. But the goal he let in, like Ryan Manning's goal, it was a decent shot, but it was from a long way out. He should have stopped that as well.
There's one more player which was getting a bit of criticism for the Preston goal, which I just want to get your thoughts on. Johnny says, Macondes was only on the pitch for 30 minutes and couldn't be asked to try and stop that last attack or run back to try and help out. Made a dreadful decision about a minute before too. Terrible injury time. Doesn't feel like we can go a week without some sort of
scapegoating.
Yeah. Yeah, what do you think to that one, Matty?
It's a stretch, really.
Okay.
I don't know if that's someone pinning it on him for us conceding, or ultimately we should have dealt with it better. We should have been caught out there, and the keeper should have saved it. So I actually thought Marcondes did well when he came on. He made us take. He created a few chances. You can't judge a player for making a back heel mid-air, but I'm going to mention it because it was very nice to look at. So. I like him. I like him as a 10. He was kind of what we needed. We didn't bring Chris Garden off the bench, which I was surprised about. But as attacking options off the bench go, him and Chris Garden would have been decent, and one of them made an appearance. So I thought he was all right. He's rightly not starting, but I think it's a lot to pin too much hate and aggression, and as Tom says, scapegoat. Marcondes with his beautiful curly hair.
He's another one who should be more consistent. He has some brilliant games. He also, for me, needs to probably contribute a little bit more to goals. And I know he got the assist on Saturday, but we need 5 or 6 goals from him at some point as well.
Are we seeing a darker arts Norwich? We spoke to our Preston fans about the game, of course, and this was just one of many Preston fans' comments. And this is what you deserve for the disgraceful cheating and time wasting. They acknowledged they were awful, but. There's quite a number of Preston fans which came out and said, I've never seen Norwich waste so much time by rolling around on the floor as they did on Saturday. Are we seeing it?
What's a team who's second or third bottom against the team who's third away? It's a shocking record. If the shoe was on the other foot, would they complain whatsoever?
No, of course
no.
What's quite nice to see, I think Southampton fans had a bit of a hissy fit after the game against us, and now Preston as well. But we're fighting for every single point. What do you expect? It's things like every team will take 2 or 3 steps forward when they have a throw in. Every keeper will take an extra 5 or 6 seconds to move it across the 6-yard box. It's football. We hate it when it's against us. We love it when it's us.
You've got to accept, haven't you?
It's part of the game.
Until it bites us on the arse in the 96th minute. But...
Well, yeah, but
Callum That's fine. Cheers, fellas. Callum says, I've seen enough improvement in a short period of time that given players returning and January, Clement will get us to safety. Yeah, cheers, Callum. We all absolutely hope so. Yeah, I mean, who are you hoping to drag in there, James, instead of you? I think we can safely say Wednesday are gone. I'm guessing Oxford are going to go probably as well. You clinging on to the fact you can catch Portsmouth or Blackburn?
Yeah, I think Sheff Wednesday are done. It's two places. I think Oxford will probably go. I think they're definitely the poorest side that I've seen us play this year. I mean, again, that's another late sort of last minute equaliser. That's 3 points we should have got. Portsmouth, I think they're a team we should keep an eye on. And then it's Blackburn with their pitch potentially. But I said a couple of weeks ago, keep an eye on Charlton. I know they got a result against Oxford, but they're not that good either. So I think, listen, so definitely Oxford. Keep an eye on Charlton, and then see how long this Wrexham run goes on for. Can we drag them back in potentially? I mean, I'd love to see those lot go back down to reality. But yeah, Oxford, Charlton, Pompey, any of them.
I like how you said Charlton just before we put them on.
I was going to say.
I know. I'll see myself. I'm going to see myself on Twitter at something, aren't
I? Nigel's been back on saying beating QPR at home and Southampton will give the players so much more belief that we'll have more wins to 26 for the views and transfers in January. Philippe should have been here from the start. Yeah, I think we all think. Yeah, hindsight.
He was having his disco hips replaced, wasn't he? He had his, he had to take his dancing shoes off for a little bit. But
wonderful thing.
Again, it's hindsight, isn't it? Because you go, and again, we all sat there in May and we went, you know what, we're quite happy with Liam Manning. He's a proven appointment. Blah 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 blah. So actually, I think you go, okay, fight just didn't work. I love the fact that Clement's had has had an impact. I mean, you look at Rob Edwards gone in at Wolves and. Bloody hell! It's like he's gone in and switched the lights off. Like they are absolutely atrocious, and I wouldn't be surprised if they go back-to-back relegations, like what he did at Luton. There's a trivia question there, maybe, but that would be But yeah, I think yes. Now we've got a bit of momentum, we've got a bit of confidence. Obviously, we've got the window coming up. I don't know how many faces that they want in. I think to the earlier point about Schwartau and the sort of the position he's playing, we don't have much natural width or pace at this moment in time. I think playing Forson on the right side of midfield, again he's fine, but he's not a winger. Tony Springett looks like a new signing, and fair play to him because he worked his socks off on Saturday. But yeah, we do. I think we do need one or two. And again, the value of hindsight is we should have never bought in Manning. But I'm really pleased he has finally had a bit of an impact.
Brilliant. We'll move on in a little bit. Just this one more from Callum here. Callum, with Diallo apparently being available again in a couple of weeks, it'd be nice to have a pacey option on the wing and should be able to have another dimension to us. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, some player. Cheers, Callum. Yeah. Right, it is our last record of 2025, so of course we can't let you all go for your Christmas dinner without asking you the big question of who is the player of 2025. Thinking back all the way back to January, all the way through to now, who is the one who deserves this accolade the most? Tough, I know, given what you've been through the last 3 months, but let us know, of course, in the comment section here. If you're watching live, put yours in the comments. We'll show some of these on the screen in a minute. Killian, for you, the player of the last 12 months is?
It's a tough one, but I'm going to go with Callum Fisher. I think he's played left back a lot to fill in gaps. He's not a left back, but he played his heart out, and he's obviously showing well again that he's back at right back. And he's definitely an engine in him, so I'm going for him.
Okay. Any more nods for Callum?
Honourable shout out, but I wouldn't have him as my favourite.
Okay.
I think he's agree with what Killian said, though. Shout out to him.
All right, James, go with yours.
I would go Sargent. I think, but he's. I can't remember. I mean, he's on 7 goals, I think, for the year so far. Had a pretty good end last year. I'd go Sarge personally.
Okay. Tom?
I think Kenny McLean. I think. I know Matty turns away in disgust.
No, I was going to say the same thing.
No, he you say that now. He's played through injuries, he's played through injections. He's he really does epitomise what it means to be the captain of our football team. Sargent is, for me, is obviously, you know, the obvious choice. But I think, you know, when you look at the last 12 months, I think Kenny McLean has been a constant figure. And when he hasn't been there, we have missed him. So, yeah, I think to have him, I think we're quite lucky to have him. And he's obviously in his advanced years. And yeah, nod to Callum. Thanks, mate.
It wasn't the one. Nigel agreed with you though. Callum Fisher, Pal Matson as well. Yeah, absolutely. We spoke about on here last week. Matt, you round this off for us?
Yeah, no, Kenny McLean for me. I was being serious, Tom. I was. He's class. If we had 10 of him outfield who tried as hard as him.
What game was it we were saying we all dream of team of Kenny McLean's? Where were we?
It was, but you just reminded me about that. But we won't go back to that. But
were we?
I had no idea. We all dream of a team.
It was an away game, wasn't it? It was horrific, and it was just almost like tongue in cheek. We all dream.
Been a few of those.
But to Tom's point, he epitomises what it means to be a captain, and you can't ask for much more. Whether he makes mistakes or whether he has a worldie, he wears his heart on his sleeve, and he's class. So yeah, Kenny for me.
Fair enough. Lord Mayor of Norwich and King of Scotland. Thanks for that, Nigel.
Yeah,
really
spot on.
Good shout.
Team's full title.
Right. It is, of course, Christmas around the corner, so wishing all of you, watching, hope you have a fantastic Christmas. In the season of goodwill, we're asking which fan base has impressed us the most, though, at Carrow Road so far. Now, I think that, given that you lost the first 7 there, that pretty much all of them will have been loud and noisy, but anyone in particular that's impressed you? Open question to all 4 of you here, rather than going around each of the houses.
I can't say Borough.
I can't say Middlesbrough.
I knew you could say Borough.
Wind you up, Sophie.
What we're saying?
I don't know. I tell you, one that I'm always look forward to is Sheffield Wednesday. I know they haven't been yet, but at some point, I always love Wednesday fans coming down. I've got a lot of time and respect, especially with all they're going through. They'll still travel the numbers, so I'm looking forward to them. Those lot coming down, but so far, struggling personally. None stand out as such because again, most of them have won at our place. So.
Okay. Sheffield United did give you guys a shout out, actually, in fairness, given that you travelled, I think, all that way on a Wednesday night to go to Sheffield. So, yeah, they said you guys. So, yeah, brilliant. We're up to the letter K in our A to Z of Norwich City. Now, if you're new to the channel and haven't been watching this, we've been doing this now up to 13 weeks. One player or one event for each letter of the alphabet going back into the Norwich history books. So, surnames only. Letter K, please. Anyone got a good one?
No one say Ben Napper.
I was going to say, given we've been talking about a goalkeeper with the letter K today, I'd go for one. Kevin Keelan.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, the old double letter, Killian. That means you have to reverse it.
Nigel just beat Nigel. Nigel's literally just put that in the chat as well. You're on the same wavelength.
Another double. I mean, he's not. He was never. I mean, he was all right for Norwich, but another double K. Kai Kamara. Remember him? His 2 goals against Everton in the Premier League. It was 2 goals against Everton, I think it was. Shout out to Kai Kamara.
Yeah, I was thinking about this morning, and I was like, who on an obscure loan player have we had in the last 20 years? And I came up with Chris Killen that we had on loan in like 2008, which is just, I don't know where my brain goes half the time. Sat there driving thinking about 2008 Norwich players. But I think Tim Krul would be my shout.
Okay. Yeah. No, good shout. Finally, then, we've been asked, we're going to give Killian, Tom, Matty and James a gift which they're allowed to give to any current Norwich player. It could be any gift that they want, or it could be any gift to any manager, ex-present, or any other fan base that's been getting on the nerves at all. So, Tom, who do you want to give a gift to this Christmas? What?
Can't be a steaming pile of.
Oh, I was gonna say a decomposing rat and send it to Portman Road, but I won't say that. But I think maybe we'll go on a similar theme, and we'll send a box of tissues to the Southampton fans for last week.
Oh, okay, still going on about it, aren't they? Yeah, still going on about it. Killian,
I'm going to give a pedometer to Pal Matson. He just must break it.
He's going to break it. Yeah, super. James?
I'm going to give a beer to every single Sheffield Wednesday fan for what they've been through this year.
Yeah, very generous. Matty?
Lovely.
That is good. That is very nice. I reckon I would give Middlesbrough and Coventry fans the award for winning the league the earliest of the season.
We're not going to make ourselves very popular on this.
No,
network, are we? We're starting to fall out with people.
I'd say, Matty, the Middlesbrough fans are absolutely buzzing about the new manager. They believe they're going to catch Coventry and win the whole thing. Their confidence has gone.
Well, as long as they keep Ipswich out of the top 2, that's fine by me.
Yeah.
As long as we beat them on the 31st or whatever it is of Jan.
Brilliant. Okay. Right then. Yes. Thank you so much, you four, for all your contributions over the last 4 months has it been since the season started. We'll give you a couple of
not longer, Mark. I
had hair when all of this started.
Yeah. Wishing all of you though happy Christmas. Enjoy the festive fixtures. Of course, Charlton at the weekend, or what feels like the weekend, every Friday, won't it? And thank you for all your support, all the ups and downs that Norwich have gone through. There's no way this club's getting relegated. It just can't happen. We'll be here in 2026 to see Norwich climb the table and comfortably sit in 12th and 13th when we finish this whole thing in May. Absolutely no problem. Thank you, Nigel. Thank you, Callum, for all your comments as well. Thank you those for watching. Have a great Christmas, and we'll see you next year. Have a good one.
Cheers. Merry Christmas.